SSL's latest audio interfaces pack high-end features into an affordable package, making pro-level sound more accessible than ever. Could these be your next studio upgrade? Let's find out. Today we're going to dive into the exciting features of the new SSL 18 and Alpha 8 interfaces to see what they're capable of. Let's start with the 18. The 18 is a USB-C interface with 8 mic pre and line inputs, plus 8 line outputs giving enough I/O to connect to outboard gear and instruments. It also houses digital I/O via ADAT and coaxial connections, plus the 18 also has decent, simple monitor control functionality. Setting the 18 up couldn't be simpler. You plug the USB-C connector in, and being class compliant on Mac, it's instantly recognised in your DAW of choice, even without installing any software. On Windows, it's a simple case of installing a USB driver. I highly recommend you install the SSL 360 software that comes with it, as this will unlock a lot more potential to control it, for example setting up multiple monitor outputs and creating headphone mixes. The front panel gives you access to the preamp gain controls, as well as setting up phantom power, high-pass filters, and SSL's much-loved 4K enhancement, which introduces an extremely pleasing sonic characteristic reminiscent of the vintage SSL consoles. It also houses the monitor control functions, as well as a pair of headphone outputs. To get further control of the 18, the mixer included in the SSL 360 software unlocks a host of capabilities. For example, the ability to create individual headphone mixes for the 2 main headphone outputs, and even a mix for the line outputs 3 and 4, which means you can run these to an external headphone amp for a third headphone mix. In the settings menu, you'll also find the superb feature SSL have included to alter the output of the headphone amps to suit every headphone. If you have high impedance headphones, for example, then simply choose the high impedance setting, and this will get the best performance out of them. If you don't need that third headphone mix, but you do have 2 pairs of speakers, then you'll want to look at the bottom right of the mixer, where we have the ability to utilise line outputs 3 and 4 for a secondary pair of monitor outputs, and you can even trim the volume to match that of your main monitors. Inputs 1 and 2 have dedicated insert points, which is in addition to the line I/O on the rear, which means you can leave a dedicated tracking compressor in this loop without using up the other I/O, which you may need for other outboard gear. Lastly, should you get lost at all, here's a handy tip. The question mark here enables tooltips, really useful if you get lost or just want a quick guide to discover what the functions do. Good for those who don't want to read through the manual. To coincide with the release of the 18, SSL have also released the Alpha 8, which is intended as an expander for the 18. You can simply connect the Alpha 8 to the ADAT inputs of the 18, and this will unlock an extra 8 line ins and outs. This is great if you need more I/O for outboard or synths, and in fact, the outputs can even deliver control voltage, which means you can control synthesizers, modular rigs, and CV-enabled guitar pedals. Nice touch. The Alpha 8 can also be used as a standalone, class-compliant audio interface. It has its own USB-C connection, so you can simply couple this with a monitor controller of your choice, and it will work as a fully functional audio interface with 8 line inputs and outputs. Great for people who prefer to use external preamps or don't need them at all. The 18 and Alpha 8 interfaces couldn't be easier to use, set up, and navigate, and I'm seriously impressed with the robust build quality. Of course, I can't talk about audio interfaces without mentioning sound quality, and as always with SSL, expectations are high. These interfaces don't just meet those expectations, they exceed them. Quite simply, they sound fantastic. If you've got any questions about these interfaces, be sure to drop a comment below. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more like this. See you again.